Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Tuesday, July 25th. Got a nice size slate on this Tuesday, 14 game slate today. Pitching is rather strong on this slate. There's a couple guys that really stand out to me as just being good plays. A ton of guys are underpriced just given their matchups. So I think pitching actually pretty straightforward today. I don't think you really have to pay up for pitcher. You only have two guys over 10K, so you can definitely look towards the mid tier for your pitchers. Then load up on some bats today. That's the approach that I'm going to be looking to take on this slate. That's how I'm going to be attacking this slate. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so your two pitchers over 10K today are Sonny Gray and Jamison Taillon. I definitely like both of these guys, but I think there are some mid-tier options that are just way better point per dollar wise. One of the guys that just stands out to me, just being a clear play just based on his price, is Madison Bumgarner. He's just 9,700, getting a matchup at home against the Pirates. Bumgarner, he is just too cheap in my opinion. I know he hasn't looked good in his first two games from the DL, but 9,700 for Madison Bumgarner is pretty criminal. Just looking at points per dollar, he has to be one of the top options, definitely one of the top cash games options today. For him to return value, you're only going to need about 20 DraftKings points, and I feel like he has somewhat of a floor of that today. Although he has really struggled in his last two games off the DL, he's only put up 16 and 12 DraftKings points against the Padres. He faced them twice off the DL, really struggled. I think Bumgarner's going to pitch well today. He's pitching at home in AT&T Park, a nice ballpark for pitchers, probably the best ballpark for pitchers. So Bumgarner definitely has that going in his favor. And if you look at the matchup, it is a good matchup. Offensively, the Pirates are not a good offensive team versus lefties. They're only hitting a 240 average and a 314 WOBA, which is towards the bottom of the league. I think that ranks about 20th in both categories. But now strikeout rate, the Pirates, they don't strike out a lot versus lefties. They're only striking out 18.9% of the time, which is low. But if you just look at the Vegas lines, Vegas, they're not expecting the Padres to do well here. They only have a 3.3 implied run total today. So I think Bumgarner is by far your top option today. We know he has upside, even though he hasn't really flashed it yet. He could go out and strike out 10 batters at any time. And even though this isn't the best strikeout matchup, I could definitely see Bumgarner getting some Ks here. I think he's your top option today. And points per dollar, 9,700. That's just too cheap. So I think Madison Bumgarner, your number one cash game play. And I'm going to be locking him in at just 9,700. And then for my SP2, going to be looking towards the mids here. And I really like Charlie Morton today. He really stands out to me as being a great SP2 option at just 8,800, getting a matchup against the Phillies. I absolutely love Charlie Morton today. 8,800 does seem like it's a very high price to pay for him, but this guy has been really good. He's been really consistent this year. If you look in his last four games, he's put up 19, 17, 21, and 13 DraftKings points. That game where he had 13 was against Seattle. In Seattle, they are a good team versus right-handed pitching. And Morton still managed to have a decent game there. So this guy's just been really good as of late. He has great strikeout stuff. He did get 10 strikeouts against the Twins a couple weeks ago. I do believe I recommended him that day. But he does have good strikeout stuff. And this Philly team, they strike out a ton versus right-handed pitching. They strike out sixth most in the league, striking out 23.5% of the time. And offensively, not a great team against righties. They're only hitting a 252 average and a 307 WOBA. And WRC plus, they only have an 86 WRC plus against righties. So Charlie Morton, he's in a great spot here. Going to the National League, he'll get to face the opposing pitcher. That's always nice. Pretty much a free strikeout. So I like Charlie Morton today as my SP2. 8,800. People are going to see that price tag and might not want to play Morton at that price. But I think he can definitely return value on his salary. I like Morton to get close to 20 DraftKings points. Definitely could see him exceeding that today. So I like Charlie Morton as my SP2 at just 8,800. When you plug in Bumgarner and Morton as your two pitchers, that still leaves you nearly 4K remaining per player. So you have two good pitchers on this slate with a ton of upside, and you still have almost 4K remaining per player for your bats. So I love going with these two guys. Definitely think both of them are underpriced and have great upside in these matchups. And both of them are also very safe for cash games. So I like going with Bumgarner and Morton today as my two pitchers. And then for my three bats, I'm going to be looking at a stud, a mid-range play, and a value play. So I have one of each today. The first guy I like, going to be at third base. My mid-range play here, might even could consider him a value play. He is under 4K. And that's Adrian Beltre at 3,900, getting a matchup against Dan Straley. I love this game. Just looking at this game, I think this is a game that you want to stack up. This game has one of the highest totals on the slate. Texas, we know that ballpark is a nice ballpark for hitters, and as of late, it's been so hot in Texas right now. The temperature for the game tonight is expected to be 101 degrees, and we know hot weather does favor hitters. So this game's going to be, I'm going to be looking to this game for some of my offense. Just looking at the prices, a lot of these guys are very cheap. Even some of the studs like Stanton, he's only under 5K, or he's under 5K. D. Gordon probably won't play him against a lefty, but you got Ozuna just 3.9, and then on the other side, you got Chu only 4.3. Nomar Mazara, he's projected about third, only 3.2. So definitely look towards this game for some offense. I like a lot of these bats in this game. One of my other hitters will also be from that game. But yeah, Adrian Beltre, definitely think he is in a great spot here against Dan Straley. Straley has actually had reverse splits this year. He has actually struggled against righties more than he has lefties. If you look at home runs, he has given up a lot of home runs to righties this year. 1.73 home run per 9 so far this year to right-handed hitters. And hard contact, Straley has been getting hit very hard versus righties. 38.7% hard contact rate to right-handed hitters. So Adrian Beltre, he's in a great spot here. And playing in Texas, that ballpark's going to help him out a ton. It's going to be over 100 degrees, so the ball should be flying. So I like Adrian Beltre today. If you're looking for a mid-range play, might even consider him a value play. Definitely consider him at third base at just 3,900. And then for my final two plays, we're going to be going to the outfield, a stud I like here, and then a value play. So the first guy I like, my stud play, one of my favorite plays on this slate. Going to be back in that Miami-Texas game. Absolutely love Giancarlo Stanton today at just 4,800, getting a matchup against Cole Hamels. I think Stanton, he is in a great spot here, and I actually think he is severely underpriced. If you look at him in his last game, he was over 5,500. He was actually 5,600 in his last game, and his price dropped nearly $1,000, 4,800 today. And this matchup against Cole Hamels is a really good matchup. Hamels has struggled against righties this year. If you look at home runs, Hamels will give up home runs to righties. 1.41 home run per 9 to right-handed hitters this year. And if you actually look at strikeout percentage, Hamels has not been striking out righties at all this year. Only a 12.9% K rate to right-handed hitters. So Stanton is definitely going to have a chance to put the ball in play here, which always does favor him. Anytime he puts the ball in play, it has a chance of going over the fence. Then if you look at hard contact, Hamels has been getting absolutely crushed by righties, over 40% hard contact to right-handed hitters. And we know Stanton, he's probably one of the most powerful bats in the game. When he puts the bat on the ball, it could absolutely fly. And with all that hard contact that Cole Hamels has been giving up, I absolutely love Giancarlo Stanton today. He also has some nice BVP going in his favor as well. It's a really big sample size. He's seen Cole Hamels 48 times. And in those 48 bats, he has 12 hits, only a 250 average, but of those 12 hits, three of them have been home runs. So when he's seen Hamels, he has taken Hamels deep in the past. So I think Giancarlo Stanton's in a great spot here. One of my favorite plays on this slate. He's been one of the hottest hitters as of late. I was watching a game on ESPN, and I heard them say that Stanton has like 10-plus home runs so far in the month of July, which leads MLB. So the dude's just been absolutely crushing the ball as of late. Ever since the All-Star break, he's just been mashing. So I love Giancarlo Stanton today. It's going to be 100 degrees in Texas, and we know that ballpark, nice ballpark for hitters, especially when it's hot. So Giancarlo Stanton, one of my favorite plays today, and I'm going to be locking him in. Just 4,800, really like that price tag on him. And after we plug in Beltre and Stanton, we are only left with 3,800. So my final play is going to be a value play, a guy under 4K that I like today, and that's Dexter Fowler at just 3,500, getting a matchup against Jon Gray. I really like Dexter Fowler today if you're just looking for some value at the outfield. Jon Gray, he has really struggled with lefties this year, and Dexter Fowler, switch hitter, will be batting from his left side today. If you just look at how Jon Gray has done versus lefties this year, he has not fared well. It is a pretty small sample size. He's only pitched 18.2 innings against lefties, but still in that sample, he has given up a 4.04 WOBA to lefties. And Jon Gray, not really a guy that gives up home runs, but he doesn't really strike out lefties at all. He's only striking out lefties 16.3% of the time, so that's great for Fowler. Fowler will have a great chance to put the ball in play. And lefties have also been getting a lot of hard contact against Jon Gray. 31.9% hard contact rate to lefties and 50.7% medium contact. So that's over 80, about 81, 82% medium and hard contact to lefties. So this is a good spot for Dexter Fowler. He is really, really cheap at just $3,500. Since we did pay up for Stanton, we're going to need some value plays to build around Stanton. So I like Dexter Fowler today, just $3,500. Really like that price tag. Definitely think he can easily return value on his cheap price. And yeah, so these are my 5 plays for tonight, guys. I went with Madison Bumgarner, Charlie Morton, Adrian Beltre, Giancarlo Stanton, and Dexter Fowler. When you plug these 5 guys in your lineup, that still leaves you over $3,800 remaining per player. So you do have some good salary to work with. I was looking at catcher earlier today, and I definitely think catcher is going to be a position where you want to punt. So you can definitely go for some value at catcher, and that'll free you up some salary to build around this 5. So you can make a lineup around this 5. Or if you want to get my full lineups, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My lineups are $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So be sure to message me on Twitter if you are interested in that. Or if you just have any questions about the slate or need to ask me something, you can contact me on Twitter as well at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you did enjoy. If this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I do upload these videos pretty much every day, so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you never want to miss out on any videos, if you scroll down to where the subscribe button is, there is a bell icon. If you click that bell icon, that'll actually notify you every time I upload. So be sure to do that as well if you never want to miss out on any videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.